Happy Thanksgiving, my fellow true believers. As many of you probably know, Conan the Barbarian, Cimmerian king himself, for a time was part of the Marvel Universe, left for a while, came back, and throughout its adventures, back in the Marvel Universe, actually became a founding member of a new Avengers team called the Savage Avengers. But sadly, at the end of this year, Conan is no longer a part of the Marvel Universe. Where he will be going afterwards, that's up to whoever holds the rights to his franchise. But in honor of Conan being back, why don't we just say thank you to the franchises that are no longer with Marvel, but had a chance to actually play a major role in interacting with Marvel's legendary heroes and villains. So without further ado, let's begin. We start off with a little bit of a bittersweet one, where we talk about a character called Rom. Rom is a member of an organization known as the Space Knights, and Rom also served a really big part in the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise as well. So much to the point that James Gunn actually wanted to use him for the very first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, but he couldn't because of another company. That company in particular being Hasbro. Yeah, I know, a toy company is stopping Marvel from doing a movie about a character they wrote about. But that's just exactly it. Marvel wrote stories about Rom, but Hasbro owns the character. Not only that, but another company that Hasbro is currently doing partnerships with is Paramount. And you'd think that with the multiverse theory being confirmed in Marvel, that Marvel and Paramount could work something out with Hasbro so that Rom could exist in both universes, so that way we have Rom in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and then having Rom existing in the movie universe that Paramount is currently working on. But who knows? Like I said, it's the multiverse. Anything's possible. That's right. For a time, the King of the Monsters himself used to call Marvel his home. See, before Legendary bought the rights from Toho and created the MonsterVerse, Marvel was able to work out a deal with Toho that allowed Godzilla to interact with some of their greatest champions. And, in typical monster movie fashion, Godzilla, of course, had a typical story. He was an ancient prehistoric beast, maybe even a little bit older, and got trapped in a block of ice that eventually worked its way into the Gulf of Alaska. And with tectonic plates shifting, the plates shifted just enough so that way the ice was able to break apart, crack, and he was able to wake up. He's in a world he's not familiar with, nothing looks the same, so of course he's probably just a little bit scared, still a little bit groggy, but he's ready for any type of fight. And, because of the destruction he causes along the way, that puts him head-to-head with S.H.I.E.L.D., who then calls the Avengers to, lead him away from highly populated areas. And, in typical Godzilla movie fashion, once he's done doing what he has to do, he goes back to the ocean, essentially crawls up in a ball, and sleeps. Until there's a dire threat that's needed when the world needs him. Now, between you and me, I think it'd be great if the Avengers did have someone like Godzilla to help them fight against threats like Thanos or Galactus. Just any big, universal, cosmic, or magical threat. It's nice to have a monster on your side that can handle something that big. But we'll see what happens as the years goes on. I'm pretty sure that you can tell by my shirt that I am also a really big fan of the Transformers. And believe it or not, during the 1980s, not only did Marvel do the comic book series for the Transformers, but they were also responsible for doing the original TV series as well. Matter of fact, during the time of the comics, you actually even got a chance to see a fight happen between Megatron, the leader of the Decepticons, and Marvel's favorite web-slinger, Spider-Man. Of course, this was still during the time when Spider-Man unknowingly, both to him and the readers, he was connected to the alien symbiote by the name of Venom. So, whether or not Spider-Man had a little bit of extra help, that's open for debate. And not only that, but I actually heard that the current company who makes the Transformers comics, IDW, their license with them is about to end this year, so who knows? Maybe sometime next year we might actually see the Transformers fighting side by side and against Marvel's mightiest heroes and villains. Thank you all so much for taking time out of your very busy schedules to watch today's video. If you enjoyed it, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing, and even hitting the bell icon to stay up to date with all things Marvel for more everything on Marvel Knights and Deities. Until next time, true believers, remember always, Excelsior!